Welcome back to the Brady Farkas Show right here on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. Very, very excited on this Friday to welcome in former UVM center on the ice, currently a member of the taxi squad of the defending NHL champion, Tampa Bay Lightning. It's Ross Colton. Ross, thanks for being with us, man. How are you?
No, thanks for having me. I'm doing well right now. Just hanging in there.
Well, I appreciate you being with us. You know, you guys were supposed to play last night. The Lightning supposed to play in Dallas against the Stars, but all the weather issues in Texas forced the cancellation of that game. So this delays your possible NHL debut a little bit longer. So what are the emotions right now as the anticipation builds?
Yeah. Like you said, it's kind of a lot of anticipation building up right now, but kind of just taking it day by day. Don't want to look too far ahead and, look into that first game whenever it may come. Kind of, right now they're just telling us, just come to the practice with a good mindset of get better every day. And that's kind of just the attitude I've had right now. So kind of don't want to look too much into it and put too much pressure on myself. So I think when the time comes, I'm just going to let it happen.
We heard a lot about the taxi squad in baseball season. Explain to us in this COVID year, what does the taxi squad situation in the NHL look like?
Yeah, I think it's just, because there's so much uncertainty around the league and with guys, with the whether it's COVID or injuries, I think they kind of just want to have a few extra guys there for whether it's practice or games where there's freak circumstances where they might be short a couple guys for whatever the reason may be. So it's kind of there's just a few guys right now who practice every day. They make you feel part of the team. So it kind of doesn't right now just even feel like there is a taxi squad or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of just a few extra guys who are pushing the guys to get better every day. And when when your number's called, you just got to be ready to go, I think is the best way to put it.
When you get the call that you're going up to the big roster, you're playing in Syracuse in the AHL, when you get the call that you're going to Tampa and going to join the defending NHL champions, what's that moment like? Who are you with? What's it like?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, kind of took a minute to sink in, but it was right after our game on Saturday there. We played Wilkes-Barre at home and just was in the locker room after the game, and I heard my phone buzzing and saw that the GM of Syracuse, Stacey Roast, was calling me, and kind of in a little bit in my mind, I kind of had an idea of what was happening, but I didn't want to put two and two together too fast. So, he kind of just said, we're going to call you up. You earned it and deserved it, and just thanked them for everything, and then immediately called my parents just to let them know, and kind of was just super excited. And then it didn't really kick in that it all happened until I was actually down here. So it was definitely something I'll remember forever.
When you joined the defending champions, you're joining a team with a whole lot of talent. What's it like when you're on the ice for the first time with the guys that just won the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's pretty crazy. You grow up, idolizing some guys, and you dream of being here, and like I said before, it takes a minute to kick in, but then when you get on the ice with them, it's just business as usual. You kind of just don't want to be. I guess the word would be too starstruck almost, because they got some great players on the team. So kind of just every day, you learn from them, you talk to them, you kind of just try and learn a point or two from somebody, whatever it may be, and kind of just see how they approach every day with their practice habits and their attitude, and the way they carry themselves on and off the ice, and kind of just I'm taking it with a grain of salt and just trying to learn from them everything I can do, really.
I don't know what it is about Tampa Bay and UVM, but the Catamounts have a good history with the Lightning. Eric Perrin won a ring there. He was there for a brief time. And then Martin St. Louis, Hockey Hall of Famer, who won a ring there as well. Have you heard from Marty St. Louis at all since you joined the organization?
No, I haven't heard. Or actually, I talked to him the one time when he was down in, or he was up in Vermont. I think it was for the alumni game. I talked to him and just told him, I was drafted there, and he was just saying, he couldn't ask for a better organization to be in. But that is pretty funny. There is a couple guys. Maybe there's a little pipeline there between the two. So it's a pretty good organization to be with, I think.
Former UVM hockey center Ross Colton, now a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning, with us here on the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. The NHL, or hockey in general, has so many complex nuances that I don't know that the everyday fan understands them all. I don't know that I understand them all. So talk to me a little bit about your situation. You come to UVM, but you'd already been drafted by the Lightning. So what are kind of your options as you're going through your UVM career before you ultimately do go pro?
Yeah, going to UVM, wasn't really sure of how long I was going to stay. I think going in there, my plan was I wanted to do 3 years originally, because like you said, I was drafted out of the USHL. So, I just wanted to use my time there to get better and bigger and stronger, because I think that's the biggest thing with college is you just have a little bit more practice time to your advantage. So kind of was planning on doing 3 years. And then after my second year, I think I kind of just took a step back and thought that, maybe if I left 1 year, earlier than scheduled, it would have been, just better for me at that time. So kind of just talked to my, he's my advisor at the time, and my family and a couple of my friends and, old coaches. And they said, ultimately it's up to you. And I just think that was my decision. I left after my second year, and ultimately I think it worked out pretty well for me.
If you had stayed all 4 years and you just graduate from UVM, do you automatically still remain a member of the Lightning, or at some point do those draft rights go away?
Yeah, I think it's 4 years after you've been drafted, you lose your draft rights. So honestly, I'm even me in this situation. I don't know all the ins and outs of the situation, but I think there is a rule with, if you don't sign after a certain date, you do become another free agent. So I think that would have been the case with me if I did end up staying all my 4 years, actually.
What attracted you to UVM in the first place?
Yeah, it was honestly probably the first school that reached out to me when I was still in prep school. And, I came up for my visit. It was actually my first visit. So obviously I just fell in love with the whole town. I came to a game, and, it really sold me on UVM was the game that I went to was during winter break. So all the students at the time were home, and the game was still sold out. And I was just in awe of, wow, if this game sold out with no students here, I can only imagine what the atmosphere would be like when, the whole student section is filled. So that was kind of one thing that stuck with me. And then I just loved, the history of the program. And I knew some of the guys that were committed there and were there at the time. And they just told me, you can't beat this place. And, my 2 years that I was there, I would even say that goes for me too. In my opinion, it's probably the best place to play in college hockey with that, with the gut and just all the history there. It's one of the best in my opinion.
I got two questions more for you related to UVM. I think hockey players are in a really interesting position, given that you have been drafted before you ever step foot on campus. How do you balance your own individual goals with maybe the goals of a team? Obviously you get to campus, you want to win games, but you're also looking out for number one at some point. You're looking out for your own development. How do you balance that?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I think you just gotta, like I said before, you gotta come to the rink every day with the right mindset of, what can I do to get better every day, and that's kind of how I still approach every day to this day. I kind of you are worried about the team, but at the same time, you do got to worry about yourself a tiny bit. But I think just when you come to practice every day, if you get the most out of what you can control, then I think that's going to ultimately help the team. So that's kind of how I approached my time with UVM, was just, whether it's in the gym or on the ice for practice, just doing the best that I could to get myself better, because I know ultimately that's going to transfer on the ice during the games, and just do whatever I can to help the team win. And, ultimately if the team's winning games, then I think you're in a better spot anyway. So.
One and done guys in basketball, I think we look at them and say, yeah, they played there, but they're not really part of the history. That guy doesn't really feel like Kentucky. That guy doesn't really feel like Duke. He was only there for a year. You were here for 2 years. What do you think your association is with UVM? Like, are you paying attention to what they're doing when they eventually win the national title? Or are you coming to the parade? What's your association with UVM?
No, I love it there. And I think, if I don't even know if I'd be in the spot that I am today if I didn't go to UVM. So, I'm thankful for my time there. I still got, lifelong friends that did do the 4 years that I'm still extremely close with. Guys like Matt Alvaro and, Derek Lodemeyer, Jake Massey, all those guys that I, keep in touch with every day. So, they're friends that I'll have forever. And, I'm excited for where the future of that program's going. I think they got the new head coach in there, and they're doing renovations of the rink. So I'm excited for them. I think, I think guys always say, they struggle with the recruiting, they got to compete with those, Hockey East with the Boston University and BC. But, if I could just tell younger guys, I can't stress enough how much fun it is to play Vermont. So it was honestly the best.
Ross Colton, former UVM hockey player, with us now in the NHL with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's here on the Brady Farkas Show on WDEV, AM and FM, and WDEVradio.com. I want to ask you about this, and I got a very quick rapid-fire questions for you. We're talking about recruiting. You mentioned it. Todd Woodcroft, the new head coach, is doing a lot of recruiting and a lot of overseas recruiting. He's doing a great job at it. You came from New Jersey. Are American players overlooked in the recruiting process?
I think it's tough. I don't really know. I'm not too in on, who gets recruited and whatnot like that. But I do see that the times have, been changing a little bit with, younger kids. I skate with, back in New Jersey, back home in the summer, and some of these kids are committing when they're like, 14 years old. And I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't even get, a prep school to come look at me when I was that age. So I think times are changing a little bit. But, the biggest thing for me is I always just said, I think if you could play, then, they'll find you wherever you are. So I think, for kids out there, you just got to keep working hard and put yourself in the right positions. And I think it'll all work out for sure.
All right. Couple rapid fire-ish questions. We'll get you out of here. Next time you come back to Burlington, first place you're grabbing food is where?
Probably KKD, Country Card Deli.
Country Card Deli, always a good choice. Whether you're having it at 10 a.m. or 3 a.m., it is always a good choice.
I think that was more of a 3 a.m. spot when I was there, but
Well, on that line of thinking, if and when the Tampa Bay Lightning win the cup again, the beer you want to drink out of it first is what?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm just a Miller Lite guy, pretty not too crazy on the beers, but I think a good Miller Lite is always a good choice.
Damn, you and I can hang out then. So we can go to Country Card Deli and have Miller Lite together.
Yeah.
While you were at UVM, it was listed that your favorite team was the New Jersey Devils and favorite player was Sidney Crosby. Do you want to amend those statements now that you're in the NHL?
Yeah, I think I would have to say that my favorite team is the Tampa Bay Lightning now, even though I grew up a lifelong Devils fan. And then I don't know if I have it's tough to say I have a favorite player. When I was younger, it was always, I think it was Zach Parise. Did I put Sidney Crosby?
Yeah, that's what it said, Sidney Crosby.
No, I think I was always a Zach Parise fan, but it's kind of weird now to say. So I'm not going to be saying that anymore.
All right, my favorite question of all. I play this with a lot of guests, especially first-time guests. I do not need a phone number, but best contact in your phone is who?
Best contact in my phone?
Yeah.
I don't know. My phone's pretty dry.
No.
I don't even know. I don't have anyone that's too crazy. Maybe for the Vermont guys, I have Sid, who used to run ales over there. So there you go. I could say I have his contact. You can call him.
Well, if I ever make it big, maybe Brady Farkas will be the best contact in your phone.
There we go.
So Ross Colton, man, plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning, did 2 years here at UVM. I just spoke to Catamount assistant coach Jeff Hill a little while ago, who said we have not had a scorer like Ross Colton since Ross Colton left. So you are still thought of highly here in Burlington and in Vermont as well. And Ross, man, we appreciate it. Whenever that debut happens, we'll be watching. We'll be rooting for you.
No, thanks, Brady. I really appreciate having you on.